morning.
Well, and it will be recorded, by the way.
Good morning. She rubbing like whales. My other one was put some on pocket and I'm like, I don't have a pocket. It's for my baseball.
Yeah, I never received the request for music. I'm going to do something similar to the dance, the spring dance.
I didn't. Give them to you, but maybe. Not really.
Okay.
That's right, excellent.
Is on your network.
Yes.
When you and I email back and forth to each other, never email.
Let me know if I see somebody pop
Yeah,
up.
never. Yeah.
So since we are also on the internet, we're gonna need to make sure we have our voices loud enough. Yeah, we haven't officially started yet.
Finish that.
And I've been without a refrigerator for today is 23 days.
Oh, no, 4
years later.
Oh, my
And
gosh.
then what you said, oh, it's gonna be fixed, it'll be ready. My air went.
Oh.
They're not on some wood. We haven't had a dishwasher since December.
Oh my God.
Well,
But
it's
yeah, since you're eating trouble so much on my hand.
Actually, we stay all summer every year when I was working, we don't have a dishwasher, and I actually don't mind it.
Yeah.
I know there's like a lot of us, there's 6 of us, but it's just something about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I showed the repairman like when, like, what we saw going on and, said, oh, it's just been a month or two. It was December.
Oh, my
Like,
goodness. They want to go home.
Like once a month, just to make sure that I didn't,
Yeah.
they have the same watch them. No, I
Oh,
run them day.
Yeah.
I'll throw it all in there.
Every day, and we started at night, we go to bed and vote it in the morning before I get the kids up. So fresh. Fill it back up.
It's so good.
well, do we want to go, we do have a quorum, so do you want to go ahead and start?
Should we wait for this day to come?
I don't think so. He's off today.
Oh, yes.
And Maldonado, did we hear back from her? Shelley Morris? No.
No, I did these 2 girls and then the other, I think was the first one mentioned. Who I have.
Okay, Maldonado. Okay, so this would be Shelley's third, by the way, so, okay, and Desanya is on her way, so she'll come in. All right, so, you go ahead.
All right, I'd like to call this meeting, motion to make them start the meeting at 8:03.
I just want to check. Miss Donnelly, in the chat, will you tell me if you can hear us?
I can hear you.
Oh, thank you. We just want to make sure.
Thanks for letting me join.
Yeah, no problem. All right, there we go. That might be closer and easier. And that was at 8:04.
Yes. All right, so we thank y'all for coming this morning and joining and making this happen this morning. This is an important decision that we need to make a good list for these 2 open spots on the board. So thank y'all for coming and being here this morning. So we show you.
Yeah, so we have nominations to present, and so if you have nominations, we're going to go ahead and do that. One thing that I've read up on is there's not necessarily a vote, it's just a nomination that then goes on. So on the agenda, it said vote. I'd like to recognize that needs to be taken off. Anyone opposed to taking that off, because that's not part of the process. It's just a nomination. Sorry, Roxy. All right, so does anyone have any nominations? And when you provide a nomination, if you could tell me their name and make sure I'm spelling it correctly for the minutes. And if you have any, or do all the nominations first, and then we can have discussions, or somebody might not know who that is and have some questions. Good morning.
So before I make nominate that, are they filling specific spots? Like, I know
Yes.
each board member, like, someone has to be like, I'm sorry, like an attorney, someone has to be an accountant, like, is that, are we filling specific spots? Like, are we looking for a specific type of like background of the person?
That's a great question.
No, they didn't, no, they just told us for seat 8 and 3,
Okay,
so they didn't tell us any qualifications.
okay.
That's a great question to know and have for future reference as well.
Right, because at one point I had asked.
But I
and they're
don't
like,
know
"Oh,
if
this
every
person's not
seat would
qualified."
be able to say, like, just in general thinking of how it goes, like,
Right,
you know, whether or not seat 2 could always be the attorney seat, you
Right.
know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
maybe it's somebody else that came in seat 4
right.
and it's covering
And
what
it's
they
covering, right.
need, and then
Yeah.
you've
I
got
see.
that. That makes sense.
I didn't know if they were needing like
Like-
something specific at this point.
Gotcha.
I know last year when something got filled, I was like, and they're like, it was against this person who they're deciding, but they had to choose this person because he had a financial background. And I was like, oh, okay.
Good to know. Okay, I'll write that down as a question to ask.
Yeah, but we weren't given that qualifications.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mm.
Specific. Seat or type of board member. Okay. Thanks. All right,
And the 2 seats that are being, that are available are seats 8 and 3. I don't know which one is which, but David Fisher is his term has come to an end. He's an attorney here in town. And then, Rusty Ingley is the other one, correct? He is resigning from the board. So those are the 2.
okay. Good to know. Didn't know. Good to know.
Okay, so does anybody have any nominations they'd like to provide? And we, like Ms. Linder said in the email, it needs to be, we need to have contacted them, they need to have know that they are being recommended, they have to provide, I think, a resume
Or a
and
bio.
a so that we can present that to the board. So, I have a nomination I would like to put on the table. It's Hannah Taylor. Hannah Taylor is a parent. She is involved. She's a business owner. She has children here at Block and 2 at Babson Park. She's very involved. I think she'd be a wonderful asset. So I've spoken with her. She's also being nominated for Babson Park as well.
Has she provided her information about some park? I wouldn't wonder. It would be super easy to send it to us as well.
Yes, I
Okay.
do believe,
Okay.
that she did recommend her name, she, said she was interested in doing so.
But you don't know if she presented
pretty
her,
I'm not sure, but we can ask her.
Yeah, we can ask her.
And ask her just to send us.
Yeah.
A
yeah,
copy
and she
to-
might want to send it to both
Yeah.
schools.
Yes,
Yes.
Okay.
Today.
today.
Thank you.
And we have 5 names that we discussed and I already contacted. First was TJ McKeon, but I don't have his resume. Rosado has it. Dr. TJ McKeon.
MCKEON.
Aaron Floyd. ERIN, and I made copies of everything for everyone that I have. Iris Hibbert.
Hibbert.
Dr. Lynn Johnson,
Double N and an E.
Mhm.
Yes.
no,
No E, no E. Thank you.
And then Sarah Jones. If.
Actually, yeah, that way I can make sure I got their names right. What it, no, there. Right, this one I think got.
She has
Crossed
a
out.
bio and resume.
Oh, okay.
Got those?
So let's take a few moments to, just, digest, who's in front of us. Again, there's no vote, but if you have any questions.
Everything, Clara?
Sarah.
Here's Sarah. Sarah's at the top. And then there's
She's in a
Okay.
resume and a bio.
A resume.
She has a resume and a bio, so the first two you
Yeah, I
have
don't-
is Sarah, you do this. Okay. And then
You have.
you have Johnson, no, that's the one. That's one, there should be four.
Mhm.
Erin Ford was another one that I felt strongly about. I did not contact her, but that was, someone else I had in mind.
We contacted her.
You did contact her, but that, that was another one that I had on my mind.
Would not want my class right on.
I know,
Right.
I thought.
Right, I would if that was me, but. Oh. I'm not sure, if Ms. Anderson, if, like, I don't know if you know if we have questions as far as like certain ones, if we have any questions about, them personally, so that not all of them.
I mean, no, I just know them as
People.
community members.
Okay.
Right.
Something just some thoughts I have. I mean, I think it's really important that we put some people on this board that have our parents.
Yes.
Parents that, know the ins and the day-to-day of what our families deal with.
Mhm.
Because it's so important. I mean, we have a lot of expertise on the board, but I also feel like we need to have some representation of the day-to-day people that, you know.
But also some parents that are in touch with like reality, not just like the higher income, you know, like that their kids, they have contact with kids and know that not all families have the capabilities of that, you know. I just feel like there's kids that are standing at the bus stop, kindergartners alone. We need to have parents that, someone on the board that understands and knows that.
Sure.
We have, you know, we need parents or someone on that board that understands that when it comes time to apply at the middle school or the high school, we have parents in our community that don't know how to do that. So we need board members thinking, hey, about those families and not just our, you know, some people's reality that, oh, my kids always have it right. I don't have to worry about my child staying at the bus stop in the dark. Like we need someone that is in touch with, not just, you know, the expertise reality, but the reality of our community, because that is the reality of our community.
Yes.
And so I think that that's super important, because sometimes I think that when decisions are made, those families are not necessarily thought of, and that's a huge part of our community.
And we have to remember that, and we have to stand up for those people that
We do.
we have to be their advocate and not be narrow-minded as far as.
It's the whole reason why the charter system started was
Right.
because of the children and the need and not getting what we needed to benefit the community as a whole.
Yeah.
Right, so I think that a parent that has their hands in the school system that's aware would really benefit the board.
I really think that's so important.
I agree. So, and I would encourage you to email your thoughts.
So how, once the nominations are made, is there like a selection committee?
Yeah, I was wondering if that.
Yes, so, from my understanding, they originally had a committee, right? But I don't think that, this is just my limited knowledge, I don't think it was selected correctly.
Okay.
And so from my understanding, they're starting over, doing it, selecting the committee the correct way.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure on that, but, that's the understanding I have.
Okay.
So,
So if we knew who the committee was, it would be nice to be able to
Right.
email them and as a, you know,
Sure.
community member, our concerns and our hopes for the board moving
Right.
forward.
Have you responded to
I-
with these?
I don't know if we can.
It's that we have 5 names that we discussed who is we, and public discussion should identify the folks involved in suggesting the 5 names.
I think we did suggest those things.
Oh, no,
They
she
say
said
names.
we as far as you, when you said we have. Like who was the we?
myself and Dr. Rosado, Mr. Rosado and, Tammy,
Administrative
yeah,
secretary to be able to reach.
we
out.
were, sent an email very last minute saying we need some names.
Yeah.
And so we came up with some, names.
I think, yeah, they're good names.
Okay, so we took care of that. Yes.
Laura, can I ask Laura a question? Laura, do you know about the selection process as far as, do you know that there's a committee? That,
There's a special meeting that's been called for Monday at 4:30
okay,
at 5 o'clock. The special committee will be formed at that point.
okay,
Ms. Roxanne was correct. It was disbanded because it was, the original committee was deemed invalid per Mr. Gibson. So they're having to start over and start again. So they will choose one on Monday.
so they're choosing committee and it's at 4:30,
At 4:30 is the work session, 5 o'clock is the meeting.
okay?
That's why it's important for everyone to get their names in before then and the bios.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, and just so you all know, I don't know, you know, all these meetings, these board meetings are online. You can watch them, they're on YouTube, they're on the website for the charter system. So if you're ever interested, they're fascinating. It's very interesting to watch these meetings.
Fascinating.
It is, and it's very important to be aware of what's going on.
Yeah.
I agree.
It's very informative. And as a SAP, to be educated on what's going on at that upper level so that we can make informed decisions.
All right, so do we have any discussion as far as nominations, any? I mean, I don't know if you can knock somebody out because it's been a nomination, so it's
Right.
not.
Yeah, these are just nominations.
Yeah.
So,
we just
Right.
Tournament all over.
Yes.
So if you'll have Hannah,
Okay,
email Miss Roxanne, she's gonna put all of these in whatever format they're asking for.
Okay.
Whether it's one PDF,
Okay.
you know, with our nominations. And, then, so we have the only, and TJ, we need to get that one. Okay, from Mr. Rosado. And then there's one more thing on the agenda. We are not meeting at 3:00 AM. I had used the one that we have the morning of, and I just copied and pasted and changed the agenda. So yeah, we are definitely not meeting at 3 AM. I love y'all, but
Not so much.
not that early.
That's ahead of our time.
I know, right?
Can I
Try that
ask
one.
a question? When we submit these, is there somewhere that we can put our personal insight? Like we were saying, we would prefer, here's our nominations, but we would prefer somebody with a child in the system and here's our explanation
I
as
think
to
that
why.
needs
Or
to
does
be
that be
addressed
separate?
probably to the board, because
Okay.
they're gonna be the ones discussing that and
Okay.
whatnot. So I would email so that's public record for you to,
Sure.
yeah, that
Okay.
this is your, and as a SAC member at Box South.
Mhm.
You know, and as a parent, you know, you list those things as a business owner. you know,
Okay.
Definitely.
Because I'm going to merge everything into one PDF document, so
Okay.
nothing can be, you know,
Forgotten.
and I just sent it to Marie.
Okay.
So,
so we should wait until that nominating committee is picked and then email them.
Well, can I
Yes,
I would
please,
say
Laura.
that,
just really fast, just so that you know, come Monday, the search committee will only fill one seat. The board will fill the second seat.
Oh.
So if that makes a difference, when you do email the board, just, they will not be choosing two and the search committee will not be choosing both. So it's one from each. If that helps any.
so you probably want to try to get on the agenda for Monday.
Oh. Do we have a representative speak at the meeting on
I don't
Monday?
think you can have a representative of a SAC meeting,
Oh,
a SAC
okay.
committee.
Okay,
You
just
can
as a
represent
parent.
yourself.
as a parent.
As a
Right.
parent.
Yeah.
Jill.
When are they
You're
gonna
good.
choose
You're good.
these
You're a great
people?
speaking.
Do they have a date of when they want these seats filled by, or is it?
I have not received, I haven't received any emails.
Okay.
So,
Laura, do you know the answer to that question?
It's as soon as possible because technically they've already gone past the deadlines, which is why the original committee is invalid. So they're actually functioning outside of bylaws right now, which is why the special meeting has been called for Monday, so that they can vote to amend the current bylaws to make sure that these dates as of Monday are included. So they're going to be changing deadlines.
Hmm.
So it's going to be ASAP. I don't know if they're going to actually identify 5 days, 6 days, a week, but it's going to be as soon as possible.
Thank you.
Does anybody else have any input or questions? This has been very, I really appreciate y'all's time. This has been
Absolutely.
wonderful. So. Roxanne, you have anything? Okay. Amelia? Okay. All right, so I
make a motion to, I make a motion to close at 8:23. Thank you. All in favor? Anyone opposed?
Thank you, Laura. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for letting me stand in. Appreciate it.
Yes,
Thanks.
we do.
Bye.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Bye.
You too. And everybody got what they